What if I told you that rusty metal box sitting in a shipyard could become someone's dream home? Because that's exactly what's happening here. No prefab kits, no shortcuts, just one guy, raw steel, and a vision. And honestly, watching it come together is kind of unreal. So in this video, you'll see the entire process from start to finish. No time lapses, no shortcuts, just the real work. From an empty shipping container on bare ground to a fully finished home, every step is shown. You'll watch steel being cut, insulation installed, walls built, and windows added. By the end, the transformation feels almost unbelievable and inspiring. Alright, so at this point, the container is basically a blank canvas. Everything inside has been stripped out. The ground underneath has been properly leveled, concrete's been poured, and now the skeleton is starting to go up. You've got wooden framing going in along the walls, roof supports getting positioned overhead, and tools spread out everywhere. Levels, measuring tape, a compressor humming in the background. Does it look like a house yet? Honestly, no, not even close. But here's the thing, this is where it all starts. Every room, every wall, every window. It all begins right here in what looks like barely organized chaos. Now things start getting serious. The container walls are being cut open, and I mean really opened up. Window gaps, door frames, full width openings. A welding machine is on the floor, cables running everywhere. Workers up on ladders checking alignment on every single cut. And from the outside, it still kind of looks like a container. But step inside and the story is completely different. The shape of an actual living space is starting to emerge. You can see where the rooms will be. You can almost picture it. That's the moment the project stops feeling like metalwork and starts feeling like construction. Okay, this is where it gets genuinely impressive. Because up until now, this has been a single container build. One box, one floor, one level. And then a second container arrives, and it gets lifted by crane and placed directly on top of the first one. Just like that, this project doubles in size. What was a single-story structure is now a full 2-story home, and the scale of the whole thing completely changes the moment that second container settles into place. Now you can see the steel support columns that were pre-positioned on the lower level. The load-bearing beams that connect the two containers are being welded and bolted into place. This isn't just stacking boxes. There's real structural engineering happening here. Calculations have been made. Load paths have been planned. This thing is built to last. Meanwhile, on the ground floor, the large openings that were cut earlier are starting to tell their story. You can see where the glass is going to go. Floor-to-ceiling sections that are going to flood the interior with light. The entrance area is taking shape. Roof overhangs are being extended outward to create covered outdoor space. And the exterior cladding prep is already underway, which means the corrugated steel surface is about to disappear entirely. Step back and look at the silhouette right now, and honestly, if you didn't know, you wouldn't know. That boxy industrial freight container identity, almost completely gone. What's standing there instead looks like the frame of a proper architectural home. So now we're on the inside, and this is where the real detail work kicks in. Steel support brackets are locked in, ceiling joists are fixed, drywall panels are going up on the walls, and behind those walls, the electrical wiring is already buried. The insulation is already done. There are stairs, buckets, plastering tools, panels stacked in every corner. It looks messy, but that messiness means progress. Because the heavy structural stuff, that's done. What's happening now is the transformation from building site to home, and you can feel it. The space is starting to breathe. Then, there it is. What used to be a dented metal freight container is now a 2-story modern home. Clean lines, thoughtful layout, proper architecture. From the street, it looks like a designer villa. Inside, every square meter is planned out and functional. This wasn't just a building project, it was a complete reinvention. From scrap metal to somewhere you genuinely want to live. And the fact that one person pulled this off, by hand, from scratch, that's not just impressive, that's craftsmanship. But we're not done, because there's a second build. And this one starts from zero. Fresh container, fresh foundation, fresh ideas. Steel's getting cut. Walls are getting shaped. And from the very first day on site, you can tell this one is just as ambitious. Not just a container house, a fully designed modern living space, built deliberately, built carefully. Let's watch it happen. So at this stage of the second build, the exterior is being wrapped. And this step is one that a lot of DIY container builders skip or rush, which is a huge mistake. A high-quality waterproofing membrane is being applied across the entire outer surface of the container, layer by layer, panel by panel. A craftsman working on a ladder is taking his time, lining up every section with precision, pressing it flat, sealing every edge and overlap. The raw corrugated steel surface is disappearing under this new protective skin. And honestly, the transformation starts here. Even before any cladding goes on, the building already looks different, more deliberate, more refined. But the membrane isn't just about aesthetics. This layer is doing serious, important work. It's sealing out moisture, which in a steel structure can lead to rust and structural damage over time. It's providing a thermal break, reducing the amount of heat that transfers directly through the steel walls. And it's helping with sound insulation too, deadening the kind of hollow resonance you get in an unlined metal box. This is the foundation layer, the thing that everything else gets built on top of. Get it right here, and the rest of the exterior comes together cleanly. Skip it, and you'll be dealing with problems for years. By the time this membrane is fully applied and sealed, you'd have to already know this is a container to believe it. And then, as if 2 full builds weren't enough, there's one more. This one is smaller in scale, but honestly, it might be the most satisfying of the 3 to watch, because everything is tighter, more focused, and the results are immediate. Modern metallic cladding, the same clean aesthetic as the larger builds, scaled down to fit this compact footprint. Inside, LED strip lights get embedded directly into the ceiling. Not surface mounted, not hanging, but recessed in cleanly for a finished, intentional look. And then, at sunset, you see it. This little cabin sitting in a garden, exterior glowing under the warm evening light. LEDs creating a soft ambience through the glass panels. Small build, big heart. And honestly, if I had a garden, I'd want one of these in it tomorrow. So, there you have it. Steel to sanctuary. 3 times over. 3 completely different builds. And 3 incredible results. What gets me about all of this is that none of it required a construction company, a massive budget, or years of formal training. It required planning, patience, the willingness to learn, and the determination to keep going even when things got hard. Because they always get hard. If you watched this whole video, I want to know, which build was your favorite? The 2-story first build? The second project with that stunning exterior? Or the little garden cabin? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely read everyone.